Have you ever felt that family ties can sometimes feel like chains? What if cutting those ties is the key to your freedom? Here's the thing. Most people who cut off their families didn't do it because of one bad argument. They did it because of 1,000 small moments that nobody else saw. The quiet dismissals, the invisible wounds, the feeling of screaming underwater while everyone at the dinner table pretends everything's fine. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know, but there's a hidden psychology behind why people walk away from their own blood, and it's rarely what you think. The slow erosion. Picture this. A kid tries to share something that matters to them. Their parent interrupts, changes the subject, or laughs it off. No big deal, right? Just one moment. But then it happens again and again, over years, decades even. Each time, a tiny piece of trust erodes. Psychologists call this microtrauma, these seemingly small violations that stack up like sediment at the bottom of a river. One pebble doesn't matter. 1,000 pebbles become a wall. So when someone finally says, "I'm done," and walks away, everyone sees the final argument. What they don't see is the 15 years of "you're too sensitive" or "that's just how they are" that led to it. The break isn't sudden. It's been happening in slow motion this whole time. The assigned identity. Then there's the role you never auditioned for but got cast in anyway. In dysfunctional families, everyone gets a part to play. There's the golden child, the one who can do no wrong, carrying the family's hopes like a trophy. There's the scapegoat, the one blamed for everything, absorbing all the anger so no one else has to face it. There's the invisible child, quiet, forgotten, trained to need nothing. And then there's the parentified child, the kid who became the adult because the actual adults couldn't handle it. Here's the twist. These roles aren't about who you are. They're about what the family needs you to be to keep the system running. And estrangement? That's what happens when someone realizes they were never seen as a whole person, just a function, a character in someone else's story. Walking away isn't rebellion. It's refusing to be a prop anymore. The empty well. Imagine going back to the same well over and over, hoping that this time there'll be water, but it's always dry. That's what emotional neglect feels like. It's not always about what happened. Sometimes it's about what never happened. The comfort that wasn't offered, the apology that never came, the moment your parents should have said, "I see you," but instead looked right through you. Psychologists call this the hope cycle. You distance yourself, feel the pain, then think, maybe if I try one more time. So you go back. They're nice for a bit. You relax. Then the pattern repeats. It's not love. It's inconsistency being confused for connection. And after enough cycles, you realize going back to an empty well isn't hope. It's self-harm. The strategy of distance. Not everyone goes full no contact right away. Some people start with gray rocking, becoming emotionally bland and boring so there's nothing to latch onto. Others do low contact, holidays only, surface-level texts, keeping it civil but distant. It's a survival strategy, not cruelty. But here's the painful part. Even when you walk away, you're grieving. It's called ambiguous loss, mourning someone who's still alive but no longer in your life. You're not just losing a person, you're losing the hope of who they could have been, the fantasy of the family you deserved but never had. Choosing peace over history. So why do people really cut off their families? Because they decided that peace matters more than performance. Because they refused to pass down the same pain to their own kids. Because they realized that family isn't about blood. It's about who actually shows up for you with respect and safety. It's not about being cruel. It's about survival. It's about saying, I won't keep breaking myself to fit into a space that was never built for me. So, which part of this resonates with you? Are you the one who walked away? The one trying to understand? Or maybe you're still standing at that empty well, hoping it'll fill. Either way, you're not alone in this.